I like this idea of like a spy who doesn't want to be a spy, who'd rather be at home watching Netflix like the rest of us, you know?
You know, we like to think that we inspired Ryan Gosling to take the role of Ken in Barbie.
I loved it. It's nice. It's nice to not be nice.
Yeah.
I will gladly punch you in the dick, Lloyd.
You must be Lloyd. What gave it away? The trash stash. It leans Lloyd.
And Anna, you got to throw up on Chris.
I know.
I think of it often.
You deserve that here, too.
I had it coming.
I dag er der streamingpremiere på actionbraget The Gray Man. Og med et budget på $200 millioner er det Netflix' dyreste film til dato. Og det kan man sagtens se, både fordi filmen er spækket med superstjerner, og fordi den besøger talløse lande og storbyer og springer en hulens masse i luften under rejsen.
You hurt?
I mean, my ego's a little bruised.
Men heldigvis har The Gray Man meget mere at byde på end store eksplosioner og store Hollywood-stjerner. Det er en sjov og spændende spionthriller med herlige helte, lige så herlige skurke. Og en fængende fortælling om spioner på flugt, som danner rammen om både actionsekvenser og dialoger i særklasse.
You wanna go first?
You go.
Vi har talt med flere af filmens store verdensstjerner, Chris Evans og Ana de Armas, Regé-Jean Page og Jessica Henwick, Ryan Gosling, og så også filmens 2 instruktører, brødrene Joe og Anthony Russo. Russo-brødrene lavede også flere af Marvels allerstørste megahits. Ikke mindst den måske bedste Marvel-film til dato, Captain America The Winter Soldier, der med sin rå action og skarpskårede historie helt klart er i familie med The Gray Man.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Men for blot 10 år siden var brødrene bedst kendt for at lave skæppeskøn tv-komik. Blandt andet i form af tv-serierne Arrested Development og Community.
I was wondering how long it would take for things to get back to normal.
Let's burn this mother down! Og selvom brødrene helt klart laver større og mere actionfyldte projekter den dag i dag, så er humor og knivskarpe dialoger stadig blandt deres varemærker.
3, 2, 1, action!
Okay, great cut.
I mean, just like all your other movies and your television shows, it's a movie that's brimming with great lines of dialogue, really great, snappy lines of dialogue. And one of my favorites is Chris Evans when he goes, "I'll pay $10 million to whoever puts a bullet in this Ken doll's brain." Now, was this before you knew that Ryan Gosling would actually be playing a Ken doll?
It was, but I think that, you know, we like to think that we inspired Ryan Gosling to take the role of Ken in Barbie.
But it's hard for us to believe that line predated him doing Barbie, but it did. Yeah.
But Ryan also has a very twisted sense of humor, so he might have taken the role just to make the joke better.
But Ryan does seem like the perfect fit for this kind of film, because I've always felt like he has this very endearing calmness to him, this really friendly demeanor. It's a great contrast to all the craziness that goes around with him, and also the craziness of Chris Evans' lovely over-the-top villain. Was that like part of your mindset in choosing Ryan Gosling for the part?
Without question. I mean, Ryan's a master of minimalism. He can convey so much with just a look. He is very warm. He also has a very quirky sense of humor. And the movie has an odd tone. It's real stakes. There's real jeopardy. There's operatic action. And there's quirky humor all mixed together in it.
6 is an odd name.
Yeah. Just 007 was taken. So.
Are you chewing gum?
Yeah.
We don't chew gum in this house.
I wasn't briefed. What happened again?
So Ryan really did check all of the boxes for, you know, it's hard to find someone who encapsulates that, the ability to play that physical, to play that intimidating, to be a badass on camera and also be that funny at the same time.
Now, I think a lot of people were taken aback when the brothers who worked on Community suddenly made in my opinion, the best action film since The Bourne Supremacy. But from my point of view, I felt it was totally natural, because I guess there's a natural kinship between comedy and action in the attention to detail, the timing, the flow, knowing when to throw a punch or when to throw a punchline. I mean, is there sort of a symbiotic relationship between the two?
Yeah, it's a good observation. And I remember as we sort of started developing our sort of process as directors and experimenting with these different forms, discovering that they are very similar because they're all based on rhythm. You know, it's very critical. Comedy is rhythm. You know, it's like you need the setup, you need the punch, boom. Yeah, and same thing with action. It's very specific in terms of the rhythm. So it's oddly similar. It doesn't mean necessarily like if you can do one, you can do the other, because there's certainly unique things about both. But there's this odd connection between the two. And I think for some reason, Joe and I really connect to that idea of the connection between the two.
Yeah, and I also just want to say that one of the things I love about your films is that you're great at sort of pushing the brakes once in a while and just letting the characters be human beings for a few minutes. And I think a lot of action directors are afraid of doing that. Now I have to wrap up, but I just want to compliment you on that. And I don't know if you are very observant about having those intermezzos where the human beings are human beings.
Thank you. Those are the critical moments to us. I mean, it's really important that you do slow down. Your brain can only handle so much action, and then it starts to become overloaded. So you do have to create connection to the character for the audience, because if they don't care, then they're not going to feel any jeopardy or any stakes in the movie. So that, again, another reason why Ryan Gosling was such a critical piece of the puzzle here, because you do care about him very much in the movie. And I think that is what helps create tension throughout the film.
She's in Croatia.
I mean, I can see that. Not in Croatian. We need a ride. I call not trunk.
Russo-brødrene nævnte netop Ryan Gosling, som i The Gray Man for første gang spiller en klassisk actionhelt i et klassisk actionbrag.
Did he have anything on his person
that you now have that you'd like to give to me?
Who was he?
A bad guy.
Last chance, 6.
Understood.
Gosling har dog før spillet mere uortodokse actionhelte i The Nice Guys.
You're the world's worst detective.
The world's worst.
Og selvfølgelig også i Nicolas Winding Refns Drive.
Did you have any idea there'd be a second car?
Den 41-årige kanadier er kendt for at spille stoiske og relativt lavmælte mænd, men han har også gang på gang bevist, at han er brillant til underspillet humor, og Goslings indtil nu sjoveste rolle var i en legendarisk Saturday Night Live-sketch, hvor Gosling spiller en designer, der har det lidt stramt over en helt særlig skrifttype.
Stephen, not this again.
I forgot about it for years, but then I remembered that Avatar, the giant international blockbuster, used the papyrus font as its logo.
But so I really enjoyed The Gray Man as well. I really thought it was a blast.
Cool.
And obviously, it's the biggest Netflix production to date. And of course, there's a lot of great things to say about Netflix. But I personally feel like perhaps the single greatest thing is that you get to customize the size and shape of the subtitles, but you can't choose the papyrus font. So I was thinking, was that a prerequisite for you before signing on? You know, was that a requirement?
I look at the fonts of every movie before I do them. You know, it just, as long as it's very important, you know, and it's true that Netflix does not use papyrus, and I felt comfortable going to work every day knowing that.
I don't even think this is literally papyrus. Maybe that was the starting point, but they clearly modified this.
But whatever they did, it wasn't enough!
But I mean, aside from Blade Runner, you haven't really done any really big budget movies.
Right.
But what was it about this particular film of this sort of size that made you feel like it fit in with your interest and your inclinations as an actor?
I mean, the truth is that action movies were my first love. I mean, that's what made me fall in love with movies and want to make them, you know. It just, it took a long time to get there. And, you know, and also, obviously, there's so many great action films and spy films that it's sort of like finding the right one was a challenge, you know. But when this came around and, you know, the Russo brothers were involved and, you know, obviously they've been doing this for the last decade, you know, I knew I was in good hands. And And then there was this character, I really thought this character was different, was interesting to me. I like this idea of like a spy who doesn't want to be a spy, who'd rather be at home watching Netflix like the rest of us, who's they pull him out of jail and it's jail or this, and either way it's a death sentence.
What's the catch? You work for us. Who's us? The CIA. We're going to train you to kill bad guys. And since you've already killed one, it shouldn't be too difficult. What makes you think I want to do it again? You seem like the type.
And so he has a kind of sense of humor about, the bleakness of it all that I thought, reminded me of the kind of 80s and 90s action films that I grew up watching.
Og apropos Netflix, så har The Gray Man en af de allerstørste Netflix-stjerner foran kameraet. Nemlig Regé-Jean Page, der fik sit helt store gennembrud i Netflix-hittet Bridgerton, hvor han spillede den fanden charmerende hertug Simon Bassett.
Stare into my eyes. If this is to work, you must appear madly in love.
Vi talte med Page, som sad sammen med Jessica Henwick, der nok er bedst kendt for at spille hårdslående heltinder i blandt andet Marvel-serien Iron Fist, og i den herlige monsterfilm Love and Monsters. I The Gray Man spiller Page og Henwick to konstant kævlende CIA-chefer, som både er med til at udløse og desperat forsøger at bremse det kaos, der opsluger både filmens helte, skurke og halvdelen af Europas civilbefolkning.
I really had a blast with this film. And actually, one of the things I really, really loved was your sort of verbal sparring in this film. I mean, it set off just as much sparks as the cars that were actually creating sparks by ramming together in the action sequences. Yeah. And it actually, because those scenes were just so entertaining and believable, it almost makes it feel a little bit weird to just see you two being nicely quiet and contemplative, together. But how fun was that verbal jousting to do?
So much fun. Would you rather that we yell at each other?
No, I very much like... I think this is the balance that we strike. It's like after you've kind of been sparring so intensely in the scene, you get to be very affable between scenes.
Yeah, I think it's also because we had such an intense period of filming every day together right at the beginning. So you feel like you've known each other much longer.
Well, yeah, I mean, luckily, we both kind of had no problem sitting into. These characters have like a huge backstory together. So we knew we had to establish a very comfortable relationship very quickly. Luckily, we're both in Brit Club, and that kind of always helps. You kind of walk in, you have this very subversive sense of humor that you can share very quickly.
Yes.
And we also have no problem playfully undermining each other.
That was fun. I loved it. It's nice. It's nice to not be nice.
Yeah. It means you can kind of drop all the effort that goes into politeness in the day-to-day and just kind of let rip for a minute, and then you call cut and go, okay, now we'd be nice again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was there still just a little part of you that felt, a bit sad that you didn't get to blow shit up or, create actual sparks on the battlefield in the action sequences?
I beg to differ. I think that we're responsible for almost every explosion and spark in the movie. We're just above getting our hands dirty.
That's true.
Like the Wizard of Oz.
The only time where I was like, oh, that actually looks pretty fun is when Anna gets to use the missile launcher. And it's just so out there that I was like, honestly, that looks kind of sick.
I like the bit when there's got to be at least 20 to 25 automatic weapons on screen and Chris just yells, "We need more guns!" And it's just the moment where the film is just that little bit aware of itself and knows how much fun it's having,
Yeah. But I mean, I just want to run something by you. Speaking of conversations, I don't know if you checked, Regé-Jean, if you checked your own IMDb page recently, but it has one of the best pieces of trivia I've ever read on the IMDb page. It says, and I'm quoting here, Regé-Jean Page is a conversational dodgeball. Sometimes he'll see the ball coming a mile away and duck right out of its way. Other times he'll catch it with a firm hand, wink, flash that disarming smile, and decide to play a while. That is on your actual IMDb page, so I
feel like that's outside the bounds of trivia. That's highly speculative.
That's highly subjective. It's so subjective. Who submitted that? Where is the source?
I would like to know the referencing for this. I think
you made someone mad.
I don't know. It's somewhere between Mad and Charmed. I feel it's very Danny Carmichael.
Yeah, it is. Wow, I'm so curious. Well, how did that get on IMDb?
Yeah, because you can't see the source of random trivia, only like the main page. But I just want to say the movie really corroborates this, this theory, trivia.
The movie corroborates that in character. So maybe it's the IMDb page of
Do
Danny
you feel
Carmichael.
like you play conversational dodgeball?
I feel like I'm playful. Maybe people kind of impose whatever game it is that we get to play.
Dodgeball. I'm trying to think of a game that I would play in my conversation.
What's your conversational game, Jessica?
My conversational swimming. I feel
Jessica goes deep.
I'm more of a conversational swimmer. Yeah.
Just trying to stay afloat in the conversation.
Yeah. Sometimes people. Oh.
Oh, sorry, you have to wrap.
We gotta go deep, guys.
Jessica's slicking deep.
Det er i øvrigt påfaldende, at Regé-Jean Pages IMDb-profil blev opdateret blot få dage efter vores interview.
What do you know about the Sierra program?
Reckless mystery men you guys send in when you can't officially send anyone else.
The Gray Man.
Mens Ryan Gosling spiller filmens helt, så bliver den alt overskyggende skurkerotte spillet af Chris Evans.
I got an urgent locate and destroy.
That could be fun. The man's got some street cred.
Evans spillede i årevis Marvel-helten Captain America, og Evans nyder tydeligvis at slippe tøjlerne og spille skurk. Hans præstation vækker varme minder om Edgar Wrights fænomenale Scott Pilgrim vs. The World, hvor Evans spillede den vanvittigt selvoptaget, men også vanvittigt charmerende skuespiller Lucas Lee.
I want to have is adopted babies.
All right, on your marks, everyone.
Oh man, we gotta go.
What? Why?
I used to date that clown.
And
action.
Og ved siden af Evans sad Ana de Armas, den kubanske skuespiller, som på rekordtid er blevet en superstjerne i Hollywood. Ikke mindst takket være mindeværdige biroller i film som Blade Runner 2049 og Daniel Craigs allersidste Bond-film No Time to Die.
Salut.
Og snart kan hun endda opleves som selveste Marilyn Monroe i den længe ventede Blonde.
This is a huge honor for me and a huge pleasure because I'm sitting across Marilyn Monroe and Lucas Lee, of course.
Oh, wow. Lucas Lee, deep cuts.
Lucas Lee, one of my favorite performances of all time, Chris, actually. One of my
thank you so much. Yeah, those eyebrows. Yeah.
It's always something. The eyebrows, the mustache.
Eyebrows, mustache. That's the only way I know how to act, through facial.
I love that. Why wouldn't you be? I mean, that's one
Why
of my favorite
wouldn't you
lines.
be? It's a great line. Yeah. It's a great line.
It is.
Hi. Big fan.
Why wouldn't you be?
And speaking of great lines, there's so many great lines in The Gray Man, of course. I mean, that's one of the Russo brothers' trademarks, of course. And one of my favorite ones, I gotta put to you first, which is one of yours, Chris, where you say,
You want to make an omelet? You got to kill some people.
Right.
Which, of course, makes me wonder, how dangerous is it, in fact, to be around Chris Evans when he's cooking, omelets or otherwise?
Well, believe me, I'm a horrible cook, so it's probably dangerous for a number of reasons.
But I mean, you were both awesome in Knives Out as well. Of course, this is your second film together. And Anna, you got to, of course, you got to throw up on Chris in one of the very memorable scenes.
Oh, what the shit?
I think of it often, yeah.
He deserved that here too.
I had it coming, yeah.
But I get to shoot him in the butt, so
That's true, that's true.
That's a good compromise.
So sure are you? Why? You want my foot in your ass?
Ah, shit!
What? It's like an 11.
Who's this lunatic?
Lloyd?
Let's go.
I'm good.
Let's go.
It sounded like a question.
I mean, this time around, you're shooting explosive grenades at him. So was that more fun? And Chris, are you starting to take it personally?
It really was a lot of fun. It really is. I mean, it's funny. Like literally everywhere Danny Miranda goes, that place is destroyed. For some reason, it blows up somehow. But it was so cool because I did have a lot of time training with all the weapons, feeling the weight of that grenade launcher. It was so surreal, and just figuring it out, like the physicality of it. And I wanted it to feel like as real as possible, and like people believe that she really had that experience and that training, and that, you know, she knew what she was doing. And you know, I got away with it.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I wanted to ask you both here. I'm actually already running out of time, but I mean, Chris, you've obviously worked with the Russos on multiple projects, and they're just always creating great performances out of actors. They really have this attention for detail and knack for both action and humor. What is it that makes them so talented at all those different elements?
With their knowledge of movies. You know, I've been on so many films where, you know, you're talking to a director about, well, what are we trying to accomplish here? And the impulse is to want to say, is this kind of like this? And if you reference another film, I've been on countless movies where directors say, no, it's not like that. It's brand new. It's not like that at all. It's its own thing. But the one language we all have as actors is film. And what the Russos are not afraid to do is to reference other pieces of cinema and say, you know, that great moment in Heat, you know, that great moment here. And, you know, again, they're not trying to copy, but they're referencing something to get everyone on the same page. Films are all these creative people coming together trying to make the same vision. And the one thing we all know is movies. Why lean out from that? So they lean into it, and I think it brings people together.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure just talking to you briefly, and I'm going to tell people to watch it because why wouldn't I be?
Yeah. Yes. Why wouldn't I? There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a good one. Thanks, man.
Husk som sagt, at The Gray Man kan streames fra og med i dag på Netflix. Og hvis du er klar på lidt mere space med de kendte, så bliv endelig hængende til efter rulleteksterne.
I can kill anybody. Maybe not anybody.
Hi, Johan.
Hi, Ryan. So nice to see you.
Are those movies behind you?
Those are movies. This is my library at home. I know it is a bit paradoxical since we're talking about a Netflix film.
Do you have do you charge for? Do you have like a membership there for your friends?
My girlfriend actually put a Johan's Blockbuster sign on the door. So even though I know there's technically only one Blockbuster left in the world.
That's not true. There's one more.
No, there is. There is actually two.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of your films. Actually, like I have Half Nelson here. Which
but let's be honest,
available.
you're a huge fan of every film.
I am. It's like it is every genre, every type of film. But I mean, everything. Indeed, yeah. But I mean, especially some of your films, like Half Nelson was actually one of the first films I reviewed. I love that film, and First Man also. I have the landing music in my ears every time I've biked for the last 4 years. It makes me drive like 10 miles per hour faster. I know it's a bit dangerous, perhaps, but there's something about that scene and that music.
Those records?
Hello, those are. Let me first say I'm Johan from Movie DK. These are all Blu-rays. Actually, this is my movie library in the back.
My man has committed to that format.
That's a lot of Blu-rays.
I know, and it's totally paradoxical. I'm sitting here with this library now that we're talking about a Netflix film. I mean, even my moving guy, I moved in a year ago, was like, have you heard about this thing called Netflix?
Oh.
Look, you appreciate 4K quality, and we appreciate you, so what's going on?
Thank you.
Is that a DVD collection behind you?
It is indeed. This is
Look at that. Oh my God, it just keeps going.
I know. Thank you so much. I just want to quickly show the crown jewel in my collection is obviously the Infinity Saga.
Oh,
and the Winter Soldier is obviously the crown jewel in that. So thank you so much for your great films. See you on the next one.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Ryan, unfortunately, I'm already out of time. But it's been a blast talking to you. Hope to.
I'm gonna come over and borrow a few movies one day.
You're always welcome.
Just
Let me
tell
know
me how to get a card to Johan's Blockbuster.
I will. See you in Denmark.
All right.
Bye.